Finding a Home, a personal narrative by Butters LeBeau. I'm Butters. For the first 10 months of my life, I was sad and alone at an animal shelter, hoping that each day would be my day to find my forever home. I had one dog friend named Marley, but I wanted people friends desperately. Every day I woke up, smiling, trying to make myself look my best. I would groom my paws and legs extra nicely so I'd look great for my possible parents. Finally, one day a beautiful young woman and an awkward-looking man came in, looking for a black lab, just like me. I made sure to put on my biggest smile, and I told Marley to get his act together. I just couldn't play right now. I had to convince these people to take me home. I loved them already. They meandered between the cages, looking at each dog, when finally they made it to me. The woman stuck her fingers in the cage, and I gave her big kisses. Thankfully, the shelter lady said they could take me for a walk. I could see in the man's eyes that he knew I was going home with them, and I was so excited! The shelter lady put on my harness and a leash, and we took off. I'd made this walk so many times in front of the high school that I was their tour guide. I led them to my favorite tree and showed them how much I love to sniff. I showed them how great I am at going potty outside, too. I knew I had to do everything possible to impress them. As we walked back to the shelter, I was nervous. I was trying to figure out what they were saying, but they weren't saying any words I knew. I guess I would have to see what happened when we got back. I was very nervous, but I tried not to show it. When we got back, I heard the shelter lady say home, and I saw the man and woman look at each other, then nod their heads up and down. Yes! I'm going home! I finally have a home! I couldn't contain my excitement. I started smiling bigger than I ever had before. I started wagging my tail so much that my whole back and butt were shaking too. I waited impatiently for them to sign some papers. I was sure to sit nicely and wait, but I couldn't contain my tail. It just had to wag. Finally, it was time to go home. The woman opened the back door of their big blue truck and helped me jump up. I'd never had to jump that high before. Then she even climbed in the back with me. I sat nicely with my front legs on her lap, and I stared out the window, smiling the whole way home. When we got to my new house, the woman opened the car door and told me to jump out. Of course, I wanted to follow directions carefully, so I did. She held the other end of my leash and climbed out behind me. Her and the man met up next to the car, and they showed me around the yard. I went potty on a bush because I couldn't keep my excitement in, and I really didn't want to go in the house. Finally, they showed me around my new house. I followed my nose, and it led me to a basket, a wonderful, delicious-smelling basket. I stuck my nose in there, searching for whatever it was, when all of a sudden I heard, "Butters, no!" and the basket was taken out from under me. I wasn't sure what happened, but I knew to stay away from that basket. It must not be safe. After we were done exploring, the woman, who I now call Mom, sat down on the floor with me, and she gave me the world's greatest belly rub. I guess sometime while I was enjoying that belly rub, I fell asleep, and the man, Dad, left for a while. When he came back home, I got nervous because the door opened. I didn't say anything at all, though. I just shot up and looked at him. He had presents for me. He brought me a bowl, a toy that made this obnoxious squeak, a rope that they always try to take from me, but I tug back sometimes, and a bone for chewing. I loved this man and woman. I'm so thankful for all of the love they give me and all of the toys they give me. But I'm most thankful for the yummy food and the bones I get every night at 7 o'clock. What would I do without my family?